Of female cyclists set a match to such restrictive notions of femininity. Though most cycled for pleasure, it was a political act to be seen using their bodies in this way. It's no coincidence that the women fighting for universal suffrage to be treated as equal citizens were also enthusiastic cyclists. Bicycles were nothing short of feminist freedom machines. A century after women got the vote, it seems astonishing that we still account for less than a third of cyclists in the UK and North America. How is there still so much gender disparity when women today have so many more freedoms than their Victorian sisters? Whether for sport or leisure, the benefits of cycling are wide and far-reaching, and it should be open to all. As those early pioneers demonstrated, gender is no barrier, although unwieldy skirts and corsets might be. By getting people where they need to go cheaply and easily, the bike has proved a powerful tool for change. It can mean the difference between getting an education or earning a living, or not. It can also have profound health benefits, both physical and psychological. Ask anyone who cycles to say what it means to them, and one thing they are likely to say is that it makes them happy, with some reporting they need to bike to stay sane. We live in a world where there are bikes to suit every need and preference. Featherlight road bikes for the more competitive, electric bikes to provide extra power where it's needed, adapted bikes for those with mobility issues. It's widely recognized that getting more people cycling could transform our cities from poisonous gridlock to quieter, cleaner, and happier places with significantly lower carbon footprints. A no-brainer when we are currently tipping over into climate catastrophe. That there are people who feel cycling isn't for them suggests there is still a long way to go in making it fully inclusive. A big part of that is having better cycling infrastructure to make it safer and more inviting, something proved by countries like the Netherlands and Denmark, who lead the way as cycling nations and boast an even split between genders. Representation matters. When we see people who look like us doing something, we're more inclined to give it a try. For too long, cycling has presented too narrow and exclusive an image, making it appear a closed shop. My aim is to present a different picture. I want to put women and girls at the center, the queens of cycling, by telling some of their extraordinary stories. Stories of freedom, empowerment, and revolution, which for too long have been pushed to the margins, forgotten or unrepresented. Whether they were going after medals, exploring the world, or spreading the word about votes for women, these female cyclists are an inspiration. Revolutions tells the story of over 130 years of women on bikes, from Europe and North America to Afghanistan, India, and beyond. When I told people I was writing this book, many assumed I would focus only on those competing at the highest level of the sport. These formidable athletes are an important part of the narrative, but there is more to cycling than medals and power meters. To suggest it is all about sports is restrictive and limiting in its own way. You don't need to have the most expensive bike and most Instagrammable kit. There is not one type of cyclist, but a huge variety of women from diverse backgrounds who have fallen in love with two wheels and use them in so many different ways. That's what I hope I will show here. Part 1 starts with a revolution, the emergence of the bicycle, an event which rocked the Western world and beyond in the late 19th century, and the early cycling pioneers who bravely endured the torrent of abuse and misinformation thrown at them. In Part 2, we meet women who have used their bikes in the name of liberty, equality, and sisterhood. Then we go on to the open road in Part 3, with those who pedaled roads less traveled, certainly by women, and encouraged their contemporaries to follow. Finally, Part 4 turns the spotlight on some who have raced at speeds and distances many assumed impossible for their sex, starting in the days when the bicycle was still a novelty, and women racing them even more so. We will end with some of the incredible women who not only compete at the highest level, but engage in activism to transform the sport, calling for equal pay, better conditions, more visibility, and inclusivity.